President Obama says it very eloquently when he talks about we're always striving for a more perfect union. But we're not there yet, and we're not anywhere close to there yet. And so I think the post-racial people, or the people that articulate that view, oftentimes are the people that never wanted to talk about race in the first place, and they want to get beyond it. But we can't. Not when you look at cities in America and see kids of color, black kids, Latino kids dropping out in astronomical numbers. When I became mayor of Los Angeles, we had a 44% graduation rate. My high school had a 35% graduation rate. When I left, I dropped out of high school. I didn't grow up in an upper middle class, grew up very poor. I got kicked out of high school. I dropped out of high school. So 75% of the kids dropped out of high school in 19.
Which one?
I got kicked out of one and dropped out of the other.
Okay. I listen closely.
So, but when I become mayor, 40 years later, and the dropout rate had improved from 25% to 35%. I mean, you go to New York, you go to Baltimore, you go to New Orleans, you go to Chicago, across the nation, you see disproportionately kids of color failing in numbers that have to startle and really cause us great consternation, going to prisons in numbers disproportionate to the rest of the population, living in poverty, which is why that young woman, was right to say Black Lives Matter, living in poverty in a level that's just unacceptable in a country this rich. And disproportionately don't have health care. So you look at all of those things. Are we getting better? Yes, we do have a few. I'm in the middle class. Most of us in here are middle class or upper middle class. Things have changed, but they're not changing fast enough or deep enough. We have a few of us who have made it, but not enough. And that's what we all have to grapple with. And that, I think, is why it's easy for some to say President Obama gets elected and we're in a post-racial era, because they never wanted to talk about it in the first place.